All praises to the Most High Yahawah. Give me a one if you can hear me. Give me a one if you can hear me and see me well. Welcome, brothers and sisters. It is good to be here. Thank you for being here. It is very good to be here. Please click the like button so the other brethren can receive and see uh, the notification. Shalom, all praises. Welcome, brothers and sisters. It's good to be here. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Give me a one if you can hear me. Thank you, beloved sister. Shalom, brothers. Please click the like button. I don't think they can. Okay, all right. I'm receiving one. All right, thank you. Yes, we have a lot to discuss, brothers. We are going to discussing certain things that happened thousands of years ago to our people. We'll just give it a little moment so the family can join us. Always, it's a great honor for having you here in the midst of us. Shalom, family. Today's Saturday. For those of you that are doing the $5 challenge with us, please give us $30, I believe. Well, not me. You know, in many of my videos, I forgot to mention that people should not send me the money for the challenge. So today we're putting $30 down for the $30 challenge. So somebody remind me at 10 so we can go over that again. And I got some books here. They are French, and they're not that important, but I'll bring it to the nation's attentions. Yes. Let's give it a little moment, then we will begin. Yes. Oh boy, give me a second. My apology, brothers. I did not send. There you go. I did not send the notification. I did not send the notification early. Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. I'm just checking certain things in my emails. Yes, sir. hmm Welcome, welcome. Oh boy. Boy, there is a storm in Central Florida, Louisiana. That early? Huh. Oh, good Lord. Oh, man, the Messiah is not playing, man. This is quite early for a hurricane. Damn. Several people were injured by tennis ball size of L damaged car, including Orange Beach, Alabama. When did this happen? Welcome, Shalom, brothers and sisters. Thank you for being here. We're going to give the Most High all praises and all credits. Yes, sir. You deserve it. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, brothers. I'm sorry. I had to report this. The beloved brother Jay Foster just emailed me. Oh well, it's been 2 hours. Something about Perry Stone. So Perry Stone, he Perry Stone, he like I said this morning, they had nothing going on. Now he upload I believe this video that he upload, he said well it is delayed, but it will not be denied. He was talking about old man Trump coming back. It is delayed. It's not it will happen. And things like that. Yes. I don't know what happened over there in Florida. I'll check that later. This is weird. I didn't hear that in the news. Yeah, Perry Stone is still talking about Trump because Trump will be president. Like very soon, it will happen. People, just keep your hope up. Keep sending that money, and it will happen. It will happen, brethren. They still, and I know back then we had a lot of our people that used to support Trump because they were Christian and they were here. And if you say something about Trump, they sent you the email. Why are you talking about Trump? Why? Why are you saying this? Why can't you focus on the Messiah? But those people, the Holy Spirit chased them, and they're no longer here with us. You know, so they still talking about this dude being president. They still brothers, in the background and stuff. You know, they still over there, or they still working. Oh, don't worry, they are working under in the election results. This just in, like right now. There's a bag of a ballot that was put, the chop flip, and then they find it in a canal. So yeah, it will be for Trump and stuff like that. Please click the like button, brothers, so that others can join us. Okay, thank you, brothers. Yeah, it's just like it's just like it's just, when you look at those people, like, are you serious, man? Just admit defeat, bow down, bend the knee, and cleave on and cling in. Nope. It will happen. No, he's talking about dreams, brothers. You know what he was saying about dreams? How the you know what? Let me just I don't want I was gonna play it. If I played, he would have taken my channel down. I gotta be careful with that because they did to a Big Judah. They took they took his channel down. Well, they took the video down and give him a strike. So That's what happened. Now he's talking because, brothers, we told you the people, they are calling him. They are sending me message, brothers. Shalom, brother Phil. Shalom. They are sending him message, and they are telling him, listen, there are certain people out there. They are having certain dream, and I'm having the similar dream. But there's a problem. It seems I'm having the negative side of the dream. They are having the positive side of the dream. And he's telling them, no, scientifically, you die, Holy Spirit, and your heart beating. That's what they see the thing going up. Yeah. He has nothing, brothers. He has nothing. He has nothing going on. They have nothing, brothers. They talk about this, they talk about that. They have nothing going on. They still talk about the Trump next big move. Woo! Trump next. Brothers, those people are gonna lose their freaking mind if the Mossad put Trump behind bars. No, I have a very, how they call the premonition spirit idea or some type of thing flew in my mind. Say, what if the Mossad put that fellow behind bar, and then a few days later, about old man Biden kicked the bucket? What would happen to those people? And they will have probably have the worst of the worst people up there. Kamala Harris, probably with old man Biden in a car, and then the Mossad switch the ley line, and then bring both of them into that pulley elevator and bring them to that special place. They probably will have Nancy Pelosi. Brothers, it's just, man, those people, they are still, brothers, pissed off about this thing, man. They are still pissed off. So, and oh boy. And if those people did succeed into this, brothers, what they would have said, they would have said our prophecy was correct and stuff. No, your prophecy was wrong. Everything that you said is wrong. Sit down. Let the true men of the Mosai do the Mosai's work. Brethren, we're about to begin. Let us begin. Now, before we go into the books, there are certain things we need to clear out. We know we always got things to clear out. First thing first, brothers, if this is your first time being on our live, let us know. And then somebody remind me at 10 o'clock to read some of the emails that I have here. The people that are sending some of the dreams. Um, oh boy. Damn it. Excuse me. Oh boy. Let me see. I think I lost that email, man. Uh, all right, so I got it. All right. There you go. There you go. I got the emails. All right, brothers, and oh, let me see if this thing, it seems blurry. Let me just wipe this right quick. Oh, give me a second. It is good. It is good. Yeah, sometime I don't know. I'm seeing it blurry and stuff. Okay, brothers, and again, somebody remind me at 10 to go into certain things. We have two books. They are French. It's just my personal book that I bought, and I'm going to study. And today is Saturday, and if you are doing the $5 challenge, please put $30 in or whatever money you want to put in. And so, uh, whoops. And the people, brothers, the people that are newly subscribed, if this is your first time being here, please let us know. Thank you for being here. Let me see if somebody said anything. Brothers, anybody here for the first time? If this is your first time, we want to give you a proper welcome. We really don't want to oh, there we go. We really don't want to go ahead and move along and like this. We want to tell the people, welcome, thank you for being here. It is good to be here. You're fulfilling prophecy by being here, listening and watching, whether you're on the comment board or you quietly watching like most of the people. All right. Okay, so yes, that is good. That is good. All right. Brothers, we about to study the pillar of fire, letter 8. And this letter, brother, we're going to find what happened behind the scenes, okay? Behind the scene, brothers. Certain things that happen, they are horrible. And I will need my our people to be okay. I'll need the people to be very vigilant because we're about to say certain words that are written in there, and we need the people to translate them. Okay, please be ready if you're going to help us with this. Again, I could have easily do this by myself, but the most I say, this is not about you. This is about him and the nation. So I'm already out of water. So, Brethren, Mom, this all right. Oh, I gotta get water. So let us begin. All right, all right. My apology. Brothers, let us begin. This is letter 8. We know in letter 7, Ramesses, they find out that the taskmasters were abusing their power. They were beating the women, which there's a law that say you cannot beat the women, and the women cannot do or perform heavy duty. And they were doing a lot of things to those women, brothers, and a lot of things. And you're about to find out one of the stuff. And we know the women, they were transporting heavy crates, heavy baskets loaded with garlic and leek. And our people, we find out that our people have a horrible diet. They used to eat garlics and leek and rotten fish and the vultures and the buzzards and the eagle that they found that was eating dead bodies. They will kill the eagles and they will kill those things and they will eat them. So, and we find out about this, and it was one of the reason why the Mosai put those law in Leviticus, because our people had to do what they had to do to survive. You're in slavery. Our people were born over 400 years in slavery, and in Egypt they don't know any other nation except they know the Egyptian, they know some of the Ethiopian, but there are other nation out there they didn't know because they were locked up in here. Just like if you take anybody in the hood that is horribly uneducated, that person don't even know where another state is. If you ask this person where's Wyoming, the capital city of North Dakota, if you say that person, do you know anybody live in Bismarck? He won't know. If you ask this person, do you know where France is? Do you know Europe? Most of our people in this condition, they don't know that. So the people that was living in this condition, they only know what was going around them. As you know, when Sesostris get into the hood, he saw the little 6-year-old kid. They were playing taskmasters and slave. Okay, a group of kids were beating the other kids and make them work because that's all they know. They don't know anything. Now, brothers, you will understand when our people got out of Egypt why anybody's on earth want them in their land. They didn't want our people. They were afraid of them because they were, well, one, there were over 2 million of them. Two, They didn't know those people. When they met other people, they're like, wow, they have other nation. We only thought they had Egyptian and Ethiopian and us. They don't know anything else. So in the previous letter, we find out that one of the young girl, the taskmaster was beating her, and she flew to Ramesses and lay in Ramesses' feet. So Ramesses told her, the law said the women shall not do the same work as the men, and whoever lay their hand on the women because of Queen Aminsi, she put this law, they will cut off their hand. And that guy snitched. He say, I wasn't alone, master. This problem is over. Everybody's doing it. So he snitched a bunch of dudes. So now Ramesses, there's a problem. Ramesses have to find a solution. Now we're going to go in letter 8. Let's see what's going on. Simple water. Letter 8. Page 90. Last paragraph. My honored and beloved mother, my last letter enclosed with the narration of a history of the Hebrews. From the lips of Prince Ramesses, to which I listen as we walk to and fro and on the terrace of the temple, I will in this letter continue, or rather conclude the subject, feeling that I will have interest you quite as deeply as it has engaged my attention. The governor of the queen's granaries, having arrived, mounting upon a handsomely caparisoned horse. Again, brothers, we've been reading this book for like a week. They haven't said anything about camels. They haven't said there's a snowstorm coming. They haven't said the desert is all of it. It's just horses, gazelle, flowers, beautiful trees, oranges and stuff. That has nothing to do with that land that we saw over there in Africa, aka that Egypt over there. Excuse me. And attended by runners, the prince at once gave him the orders for which he came, and then, dismissing him with a wave of his hand, turned to me as I was watching the majestic flight of several eagles of prey. Again, eagles, brothers. Do we even have eagle over there in that land? And do we? Which places eagle are not found any kind of place, brothers? Do we even is eagle is even native in Egypt? Are eagles a native over there? I'm not quite sure. Eagles of prey, which circling above my head at a great height, with seemingly immovable wings, though cutting the hair so swiftly, gradually diminish the circle of the flight and descend upon some object not far distant on the road. Okay, so leading to another treasure city called Pithom, many leagues up the Nile, which the Hebrews had built for Amunophis 1 years and more ago. So now they are writing to another city that our people built 60 years ago for Amunophis 1. Amunophis 1 he's like the wash dude, you know. Okay, he's like the worst. So they build a city over there for him, man. You know what it takes to build a city, man, with manual labor? I will now resume my history of the Hebrews, my dear Sesostris. So this is Ramesses talking to Sesostris, and then he's telling him, like, he will resume the history of the Hebrews, what happened to him. Please click the like button so the others can find the notification. And will it be brief, as we must return to On? So they're about to return to On, that city. The Prince Joseph as I have said, obtained for his father and brethren all his fair plan. It's talking about the land, the a plain land, this plain. The heart and beauty of Egypt. So Goshen was the heart and beauty of Egypt. Here they dwell when the old men die after 17 years residence in Egypt, and the Hebrews prime minister of the king made for his father a funeral such as few kings receive. So Jacob died in Egypt. Remember the story in the book of Joshua when Jacob died, brother, in Egypt, and they made us the funeral of Jacob was like, damn. The funeral, I believe. Wait, no, let me see. The old man died. Yeah, let me see. Yeah. A few kings received. So Joseph made a beautiful funeral for Jacob, and remember the funeral that that when Isaac died. Okay, Jacob and Esau went to buried Isaac. Joseph was there, but Esau, when he took all the money, he didn't want the land. He took all the money, and then he came back work. He came back to the funeral of his father. Boy, he ain't got a penny. He spent all the money, and then they were about to bury Isaac in the cave. And Esau said he owned the cave, so he started to talk, and then he started to fight with them. And then there was a son, somebody, but that dude is dumb and then he's deaf. He didn't know what's going on. All he sees saw Esau being violent. Esau is like beating up people, and then he saw want the land and stuff. And then that dude run out of nowhere, and then he leaped. While he leaped, he pulled his sword and cut off Esau's head. And Esau's head jumped, shouted, and then it fell and rolled up into the cave, and they buried Isaac and Esau's man and Esau's head. So they give Jacob a beautiful, for those of you who read the book of Joshua, so they give Jacob a beautiful funeral. It is said to have been more magnificent than that of Osir-Tassin one. So Jacob's funeral was better than the king, brothers. Shalom, brethren. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Of which our poets have sung, by Pharaoh's commands as his favorite wishes to bury his father in Palestine. A vast army went up with the body, chariots, horsemen, and footmen, so that this day the splendor and pomp of the funeral is a tradition throughout the lands they traverse. So Jacob's funeral was like better and more prettier than the king. This is big. Joseph then returned to Egypt and ruled 61 years, according to this book. 61 years, until both and he and Amunophis the king were waxed in years. So Joseph was ruling. Amunophis, like we told you, Amunophis really don't care. Amunophis is like, yo, Joseph, do your thing, baby. I'm just gonna be here. Whenever you need me, I'm here, but you're second in command. Do whatever that you think it's right for the nation. That is why Egypt prospered. Our people were ruling. So Amunophis was like playing golf, spending time with his family, go to the club, go to all kind of banquet and spend and do cocaine and all that stuff. So Joseph, he was the one doing everything. He was the one ruling. So after 61 years, both of those guys getting very old. So both of them are old. Joseph is old. Amunophis is old. So, excuse me. Waxing years, at length he died. At length he died and was embalmed, and his body placed in the second pyramid, which you behold a little to the right of Memphis. There his body does not now rest, for after expulsion of the Phoenician dynasty, the Hebrews secretly removed it and placed it of concealment and unknown only to themselves. And only ourselves know where that body is buried. We know now in the book of in the book of the throne of David, we know where this body is buried. We actually went inside. We look at it. Well, not us physically, but the description where the body is buried. Because when Joseph died, they buried him in the second pyramid. But after that, they secretly removed it because the Phoenician king got overthrown by the by the Theban kings, by the Theban people. The Theban people are the true Egyptians. Those are the ones that were mistreating the children of Israel. The Phoenician Egyptian really did do anything to us. They were living with us like brothers and sisters, which told you most likely they were Shemitic people, just like us. They were Shemites, okay? Shem, Melchizedek's. And the other, the Thebans came in and overthrown them and took back power. There it is saying among them that the bones of this prince shall rise again. That's the legend. And that he shall go with them forth from Egypt to a new fairer country beyond Arabia. That was the prophecy. And it was. They did take the bone of Joseph and go buried it in the Holy Land. And with Abraham, they actually buried Abraham there. They buried Joseph, they buried Jacob, they buried Jacob's wife there. They actually did something that was pretty much it was sad. They took they put Rachel they put Rachel in a better coffin than Leah, because Rachel was Jacob's favorite, and they put Leah in a lower tomb. Oh, did I flip the page yet? Yeah, all right. Then they have hope of being one day delivered from their prison conditions. Okay, it is that's Sesostris asked. He said, then so they have hope for being one day delivered from their prison conditions. Now you start seeing, brothers, Sesostris. When you see the Hebrews, brother, Moses is gonna say some stuff here, brothers, that's gonna blow your mind. Sesostris, there was talking. Brothers, the two way those brothers are talking, it's not them talking. It's like the Most High talking to you in the future and telling you what he's going to do. It's like the Most High talking to you personally. He's telling you this is what he's going to do. Let's move in. It is part of their faith and born, if I may so speak. It is this hope, I think, which make them bear up so patiently under the servitude. So Sesostris say, but those people, they have hope one day they're gonna be freed, right? And Ramesses look at him and say, yeah, it is that hope that keep them alive. If you didn't have this hope, you would have died under this type of servitude. It is that hope that keep the Hebrews alive of being freed. Somehow they know in the future there will be something, some type of magical thing that will happen. They will be freed. And you will understand, brothers, why it was impossible to free the Hebrews. It was literally impossible. It was only the Most High. They will say it here. They say only a God that can deliver those people. It's impossible for what they were under. And how, noble Ramesses, were they reduced to bondage in the fair land wherein they once dwelt so peacefully under the benign sway of the mighty brothers? So Sesostris said, then how did those people get into this thing when their brothers, Joseph, was ruling the land? How was it? How that was? Brothers, we understand, like one of the main reason why, I'm not saying it's the main reason. One of the reason why the Most High let this happen is because, one, the brothers did sold Joseph into slavery because they were jealous and stuff. And Joseph was a brat too. He was a super brat. It was like always being cocky in the face of the brothers, tell them how he's gonna rule over them, how everybody going to, kiss his hand and stuff. He used to tell the brothers, he was a favorite of Jacob. So the brothers got enough of him and they sold his ass. So, and because they sold him, that's one of the part. He served slavery in Egypt. Joseph's slavery wasn't even slavery at all. Okay, it wasn't even slavery. It was like a servant. He went over there and served servant. Because when they went and sold Joseph as a slave, Nobody want to buy him. They tell the guys, because there was a rule back then, you can only sell slave. You cannot sell anybody else. When they went and buy the slave, they look at Joseph. They're like, whoa, 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 what the hell is this? And those guys say, he's a slave. That guy said, no, this dude cannot be slave. Look at his face. He looked fresh. He looked good. He's handsome. He looked like he just get out of a castle like a prince. Where did you guys steal this guy? Say, nah, I mean, we didn't steal him. He is paper. We bought him. They're like, nobody didn't want to buy Joseph because he didn't look like a slave. When you see a slave, brother, you'll know this guy is a slave. So that's why Potiphar bought Joseph. He didn't even treat Joseph as a slave. He put Joseph in his house as brothers, like I said, as an employee. And Joseph was so attractive, Potiphar's wife spent almost like 25 years trying to force Joseph to bake things, offering Joseph that cookie all over. Joseph saying, no, I can't, my God forbid that. Even Joseph was in the prison for 19 years. This woman come every single day showing Joseph that oven, and Joseph in the prison like, damn. He said, don't worry, I'll pay the God. He will open the door, and then, I always come here with that oven, preheated, so let's do it right quick and stuff. But Joseph didn't want to do anything. So when they look at Joseph, brother, he was not a slave, but that doesn't mean anything because you did sold him. The brother did sold him. And brothers, when you read the story, Judah was broken, man. The brothers were broken. Okay, Reuben came in. Reuben was pissed off. Reuben was about to kill them. Reuben said, oh, I told you not to put that little boy in there. Well, we'll go into this. The brothers were broken. That thing changed Judah forever, man. And Judah become Judah used to be that dude, when you talk, he will leap and then kick you. And Judah become a much more, before he did something, he give you 1,000 chains. That's why when he came in to destroy Egypt, and he didn't know he was talking to Joseph, he kept telling Joseph, listen, man, you don't know, I don't want to do this, man, but you're going to force my hand. He told Joseph, he said, I did something horrible 20-something years ago. I did something that I will regret for the rest of my life. It haunted me. And he did, brothers. And he did. And you see that Judah actually, he was hunted, man. Judah was like all messed up. And Judah killed a bunch of people. The 12, those guys killed armies of people, man. Our ancestors, damn. So, and Sesostris asked him, but how? My noble Ramesses, how those people going to be free? Well, how those people came in under the servitude? What happened? What made them like that? What is the cause that happened? And Sesostris said, and then Ramesses answer. The answer to this question, my dear Sesostris, said the prince, will involve a history of the overthrow of the dynasty of the Phoenician conquerors, which lasted over 200 years, with the succession of 6 kings. So we know for a fact the Phoenician kings, the Phoenician pharaohs that were ruling weren't the truly inhabitant of Egypt. They weren't the Thebans, Egypt. They weren't the quote-unquote the Hamites in Egypt. They were the Phoenicians. Those guys were like a bunch of Syrian, a bunch of Shemites that came in, overtook Egypt, and then tried swagger jack everything. Upon the death of the prince Joseph in his 110th year, Amunophis the king, being also of great age, become incapable of managing his kingdom. Define the word incapable. Upon the death of the prince Joseph in his 110th year, Amunophis the king, being also of great age, become incapable of managing his kingdom, which he had for 60 years entrusted to the hands of this Hebrew prime minister. So Joseph died, brethren. Let me see. No, it's not Amunophis, it's Amunophis. Now, when Joseph died, he was the one that ruling Egypt. So Amunophis being old, just like Joseph, he didn't even know how to rule Egypt. So Apophis become incapable. He become old. He has dementia. He don't know what he's doing. He cannot rule. There's a problem there. There's a problem and opportunity. Incapable, incompetent, unable to do a task. He was unable to move things, do things, give orders. Brother, you were hired to do a job for over 60 years. You've been receiving paycheck for 60 years. You never did that job. You don't know how to do it. You're always hanging out and effing around and stuff. And after 61 years, and then the guy that you used to pay to do your job died. A job that you never did before. And then right now they ask you, yeah, go ahead and do this job. There's a problem. He doesn't know how to do it. Ignorant of the true condition of this government, known to but a few of his subjects, age and imbecile. Please describe that word imbecile. Imbesele. It's French, imbecile. 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 Ignorant of the true condition. He has no idea the true condition of this government. That is why, brothers, you see this government is crumbling because they never did anything until 2008, I believe. Until 2020. Oh, crap. The definition of imbecile, foolish or stupid person. They were stupid. They didn't know what they were doing. That's why they always have to hire all people. They don't know how to do anything. Stupid jackasses and scumbag. He was incapable of holding the reign of state left by the Hebrew. That's why when our people always left the land, and that said, everything is left, you know. Yeah, he was old man Biden. He was a son of Biden and Trump. Woo! He was old man Biden and Trump out together, brothers. Until, again, this brother, he may not be one of us. The moment this dude left, old man Trump stepped in, and the whole entire world see the nakedness of America. They're like, what the hell is going on here? This dude, although they say his father was a Kenyan, he's an Amite, but he has all the swag that he have. Most like he's a freaking two-third. But the moment he left, old man Trump came in, I'll do a better job. He ended up effing up everything. Old man Biden came in, I'll do a better. He did even worse. In his 100 day, he did worse. Now you start to understand, brothers, the moment our people don't have their hands in something, it's crumbling. It's crumbling. He was incapable of holding the reins of state left by the Hebrew in his hand. The ever jealous and watchful king of Thebaid and Upper Egypt did not delay to take advantage of the opportunity like so in attempt of the restoration. So you got those people, the Theban kings in Upper Egypt, they were under the subjugation of the Phoenician king. So the Phoenician king, like Sleepy Joe and Biden, Sleeping Joe and Trump, they don't know what to do. Like, oh, yeah, what's going on here? And then that guy see that, he like, oh, hell no. He was a true native. And he hated the Phoenician because the Phoenician were ruling on top of him. He was a subject to his own country. And then he took up home. He took on army. And then they went full force upon Egypt. And they overthrew the Phoenician rules. They overthrew them. And lower Egypt of the ancient throne of the native pharaohs by the expulsion of the usurping dynasty. So he usurped them, he overthrown the Phoenician dynasty. But my dear Sesostris, you know well the subsequent history how Pharaoh Amunophis brothers. But my dear Sesostris, You know well the subsequent history how Pharaoh Amosis with his Theban host drove them from city to city and finally pursued them into Arabia, whence they settled in the land of the Philistine and capturing Salem and made it their capital city. At least is a such of the tradition. So the Theban kings, the true Egyptians, chased out the Phoenician in the city, and then they went somewhere in Arabia. Okay, they find another land, and then they overthrow that city, and then they just stay there. They held it for a time. I answer. So it's, Sesostris said, yeah, they held it for a time, but being driven from it by the king of Elam, they subsequently fortify Ascalon. They are still a powerful people under the name of Philistines. So now those Phoenicians that were ruling, in Egypt, they got chased down to Arabia. They stole a city for a time. They got kicked out of that city, and then they went to Ascalon. They stole another city, and then they called themselves the Philistines. They are not the true Philistines. They're always hiding. People are always hiding, so they won't find them. And what is singular retains scarcely a custom derived from the 225 years residents reigned in Egypt. It is not more remarkable than the fact that their domination here made no impression upon the people of Egypt. They left no words of their own in our language, and no custom of theirs were adopted by the Egyptians. They simply held military possession of the kingdom, living in fortified city and levying tribute upon the people for their support. The few monuments they erect were defaced, overthrown by the vicious Theban king and restorer Amosis, my great ancestor, or by his successor Amunophis I. So what happened is here, the guys, the Phoenician, they didn't have that much influence when they were ruling. They didn't really do anything. They find out if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They came in, as Sun Tzu said, it is better to capture a city or a country unbroken than to destroy the country and then capture it. Then you're going to have to go ahead and build everything back up. That's why when those people came here, they didn't destroy the land. They destroyed the people. And then they keep the land. Now they almost did destroy the land. They destroy a hell of a lot of our land. They destroy our histories. Most of our history, the swagger jacked them. It is good, brothers. When you go, brothers. Oh boy, this is going to come out wrong, but a disclaimer, a full disclaimer, brothers. Disclosure. If you were to steal a car and you have a gun, a machine gun, it would have been better to stop the car, threaten the people, well, get them out of that car, let them run. That's what I would do, but some people would have taken them to a certain place and leave two things behind their head, and then took the car, and then drove the car. Then go ahead and shoot the car and shoot it, kill that person, drag his body, and then drive the car to a garage and repair it and all that. Or you trying to steal somebody's houses and then you go over there, you burn down the houses so that person can come out, and then you went and then rebuild the house again. It's too much. So those guys came in, they surgically steal the land, but everything that was there, they just leave it, and then they just build a few things on top of it. They didn't really build stuff. That's why Ramesses tells Sesostris, they didn't leave anything. They were very careful about what they were doing. And when you look at it, it was the Mosai order. The Mosai made all those things. When these invaders were expelled from Lower Egypt, then the two crowns of the Thebaid and Mephidi kingdoms become united in the person of Amunophis, the son of the restorer. So Amosis was the restorer, and then Amunophis came in. Amunophis was the father of Aminsi. Amunophis is that guy. Amunophis is that dude. You're going to see what that guy did. So Amunophis, he unite both kingdom. Excuse me. And it is this Thebaid dynasty which is now holds the scepter of the two kingdoms, and which is represented in the person of my mother, the daughter of Amunophis, who died when she was a young girl. She has ever since reigned with the title of the daughter of Pharaoh, being so called by the people when she ascended to the throne of Memphis and Thebes. So Amunophis had a daughter. When Amunophis captured, when Amosis, the father of Amunophis, captured the city, he took all the women, he killed all the men. The Phoenician women, he kept them. The Phoenician women were the so-called Shemitic. So his son Amunophis married the queen and have a daughter with the queen. The daughter name is Aminsi. When she was a little girl, the father Amunophis died. And brother, in the book of Joshua, the death of this king, oh my Lord. Dude, before that guy died, his body stinks so much. He literally sit like this. You can see the worms pop up in his body, eating his body alive. He could not die because of what he did. Horrible death, brothers. These dudes, they have to leave him in a city by himself so they would not smell him. When that dude died, he could not be buried. Nobody could get nowhere near him. The smell was horrible. This dude vomit, he puke, he did number one and number two on himself. He could not be clean. They were cleaning this dude. His flesh was falling off. His eyes were falling off because of what he did. The Most High got this dude. When these maggots were coming out of his mouth, his ear, his eyes, his nose, when they tried to comb his hair, his hair is falling up his flesh. Oh, the Most High got that dude. Brother, he stayed like that for years before he died. He stayed like that for years, brothers. People, everybody were aware of how that dude, brothers. When I'm reading that thing, I'm like, if somebody, you're not afraid of this dude upstairs, I don't know what the hell. Repent, man, repent. This guy don't play, man. This guy don't play. Horrible death. So he died. When Amunophis, died, the daughter, she was a young girl, which means she was a virgin, a young woman. She was probably 12 years old. She got the throne when she was a 12-year-old, like a young girl, a little kid, a young girl. We would have called her a preteen today, okay? Well, she was 12. But because we don't want people to argue here and call us pedophile, we say she was like, 18 years old, but she was like a young woman, a virgin. And then she become the daughter of Pharaoh. That's how they used to refer to her. But my dear prince, say Rameses with a smile, I have been giving you the history of the dynasty of my race rather than the Hebrew people. So Rameses look at Sesostris, he laughed, he said, Rameses, he said, Sesostris, instead of giving you the history of the people, I've been giving you the history of my people. Now, brothers, we understand that the original people, when Joseph was ruling with the Hebrews, with the pharaohs, the Egyptian, they were not the true Egyptian. They were the Phoenician people. The true Egyptian, they were still in the land. There were always envy and jealousies of the Hebrews because they can make the difference who's who. Now, the moment the king, the Phoenician king, the moment Joseph died, the Phoenician king could not rule, and then those guys, they invade, they swagger jab, they threw everybody out, they chased them very far, they come back, they destroy everything that had their name on it, they destroy everything that Joseph ever built, they deface everything that he ever made. All the books, they changed all the names. They took all the good stuff, they copy and paste it onto them, and they claim they are the one that teach everything. They make stuff. That's why Moses said we don't worship idols, we worship that one true God. Because when Joseph was ruling the whole Egypt, worship YAHAWAH only. Everybody worshiped the whole true God. Even the king under Joseph, they worship YAHAWAH himself. This is the history of the Hebrew. I am not the less interested, dear Ramesses, I said, and perceive that the two histories are naturally united. So Sesostris say, Moses, it's not like I'm not interested. Those two histories, they make sense. They connect. Please tell me more. And then Ramesses say, yes, the new king Amunophis called the restorer. Upon the obelisk at Memphis, which bear his name, and upon which the scene of the expulsion of these Philistine soldier monarchs are depicted with great spirit and fidelity, the new king. So again, this is what those guys do, that they are superheroes. Hey, put my face in, build three faces in a giant mountain, but erase those faces that was there first, but put our face on it. Tell the people that we did this. Put some obelisk in down city Washington, and put some giant statue of me. Tell them that I freed the slave and stuff. Made us look good. We did a lot of hate, but made us look good. I said, upon driving out the invaders, keeping the Phoenicians' king fair daughter, Ephta, and his wife, turned his attention to the other class of strangers, who had the fairest portion of Egypt for the possession. Right after this dude took the daughter, Ephta, the Phoenician daughter, and then he turned his face toward the other strangers that were in the land. The stranger has the best part of Egypt, Goshen. And he moved upon Goshen. Brothers, listen. He accordingly visited in the state the city of Succoth and the province of Goshen. So Goshen was a state. Goshen was a state. It wasn't a city, it was a state. Just like, let's say, Florida. Succoth was like Miami. Goshen, the whole state. Goshen, which they had built and beautifully during the 70 years they had dwelt there under Prince Joseph, mild and partial ruled. Our people were living there in peace. It was without walls. We didn't have big ass wall protected because the Messiah were in the midst of us. Wholly unfortified. It wasn't a fortified city because the Messiah is our fortress. It had not even a temple. We didn't need any place to go worship the Messiah. We worship the Messiah in our heart, in our spirit, and our soul. For the Hebrews of the better class worship only with the intellect of a spiritual deity in his unity. You don't need a physical body, a temple to worship the Messiah. You walking around in a freaking church, you go in that church, you sleep in that church. You go to work, you're in that church, you're in that temple. You and that woman and this man making in this church. You never leave that church. Brothers, remind me at 10 o'clock, so we have to read certain things, stuff like that. Which, if I dare speak so boldly to you, O Ramesses, I said, appeals to me to be the noblest species of worship and the purest sort of religion for intellect being. So Sesostris, brothers, he start to join in our culture. Sesostris said, damn, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. He said, if I may say, Ramses, it appears to me that this is the best, noblest species of worship of the pure sort of religion for an intellect being. That's the best way to worship any other god. And then he said, wouldn't you say that, Ramesses? He said, sayest thou? Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say the best thing? That's the Sesostris, the heathen talking to Moses. He said, wouldn't you say that? And the Moses look at him and say, thou art in advance of the rest of mankind, my Sesostris. The same feelings exist in my own bosom, but I believe myself alone and experience it. Brothers and sisters, give the Most High all praises and all credit. All praises to the Most High, brothers. This is the Most High talking to us. All praises and all credit, man. All praises. This is the Most High shooting in our when you hit the target right there with this course. All praises, man. All praises. When Sesostris says this is like the purest and the best form of worship to this one God, wouldn't you say that, Moses? And Ramesses turn around, he look at Sesostris and say, my dear Sesostris, you're catching up with me. I thought I was the only one when I think this. I thought people think that I'm crazy when I think like this is the best way to worship that living God, man. This is what Ramesses said. He said, thou art in advance of the rest of mankind, my Sesostris. The same feeling exists in my own bosom, in my heart, in my own soul, in my own bosom. But I believe myself alone in experiencing it. That is why when something happened to us, brothers, we are definitely afraid. We don't want to tell people because we know we are alone. We start to understand that something is wrong. Why does everybody else don't notice this? Why they don't see this? And only, brothers, when you find another person that is just like you can actually talk to this person. That person will not make fun of you. That person will understand you. And before you open your mouth, that person will tell you the next sentence that you were about to say. That is how you know the Holy Spirit is in the midst of us. That is why over here we have to be, we may be alone out there, but here we are together. Everybody understand together. And now Sesostris start to understand Ramesses, and Ramesses start to understand Sesostris. There's a connection. Someday we will hold discourse together on this high mystery. He says someday, Sesostris, we're going to take a day, we're going to talk about that, all right? There seems to come up, it's just like, all praises to the Most High. I could never, brothers, figure out how the Most High is so good. Listen, this is what Moses said. He said, someday we will hold discuss together on this high mystery. There seems to come up from my childhood a voice which I can never silence, in which I hear loudest when I'm almost solemnly engaged in the sacred rite of the altars of our gods, saying, Son of Earth, there is but one God, invisible, eternal, uncreated, and whose glories will not share with other. Worship him with the spirit of which understand him. Brothers and sisters, all praises to the Most High. Ramesses has that in his heart. He said, ever since I was a child, when I'm worshiping in the temple, I keep hearing this voice in my head telling me, Son of Earth, there is nothing but one God. Worship him with all your heart. That means, brothers and sisters, Moses was born in the truth. That is why we told people, you can have people are saying, prepare, oh, get ready, get this. Nope, you can't. You have to be born like that, brothers. The Most High have to put it in you, in your heart. He has to mold it in your heart and make you like this. That is why some of us, brothers, when we went to the church, we could not sit straight. We could not pray, even though we said the stuff, we didn't believe it. Because we know somewhere, there has to be something better than this. This scumbag, I know this dude. He's a fucking murderer. And he's here. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so happy. I love everybody. This is fake. That is why, brothers, when you were in the world, when you were not in this truth, which you were always, you just didn't have another person you can share the truth with him. That is why, brothers, when you go upon the loin of other people, you are telling them, worship our God. He's the only God. Nope. You got your God. I have mine. You got your religion. I have mine. I worship Cesar Borgia. You worship whatever the hell you want to worship. And we know ever since we're kids, something in our soul keep telling us, no, there had to be something better. There's a greater call, brothers. That's what Rebbe, he never told anybody that. He only told Sesostris and Sesostris. We need to talk about this because ever since I was a little boy, ever since he say this voice get the loudest when he's alone. Brothers, that is why this work has to be alone. You cannot bring your wife, you cannot bring your husband, you cannot bring your children, your friend, your pastor, your co-worker. You cannot bring anybody. You cannot bring the enemy. You have to be alone. That is why when YAHAWAH was fasting, he go alone in the desert. Moses had to be alone. This is between you and your father. This is not between you, him, her, and over there, the scumbags. This is between you and the Most High, brothers. You have to be alone, and then you will hear the Most High the loudest. Brothers, I told you, every time I'm sitting on my bed, I'm alone by myself, and I'm meditating. I close my eyes. There is a gate far off in front, the gate closed, brothers. It's like it was right down my ear, and then I jump. Brothers, those were the signs our ancestors were claiming. That was the sign, brothers. You have to be alone. You have to be at peace. I know, brothers, your husband, I know, sisters, your husband is leaving. I know, brothers, your wife is leaving. One brother sent me an email. Oh, our praises to the Most High. That witch is gone. I don't miss her. Now I have more time to worship the Most High. But the women, they are much more because they are women. Remember what Queen Aminsi does? She put a law not to mess with the women because she was a woman herself. Like we told you, all those queen and sub women, they really don't want any war. They just want beautiful stuff, luxury, and then shopping all the time, and then no war and stuff. And then when another women wear better clothes than them, they are an assassin and have that woman killed. So that's what was happening back then. All right, let us move in, brothers. Let us move in. Son of earth, there is but one God, invisible, eternal, uncreated, and whose glory he will not share with another. Worship him with the spirit and with the understanding. Worship him with your heart and the Holy Spirit. And Sesostris said, this is remarkable. For such also is the mystery taught by the priest of Chaldea, of whom Melchizedek was the first high priest. Sesostris said, this is remarkable. Such is the mystery taught by the priest of Chaldea, of whom Melchizedek was the first high priest. I have read their sacred book in Damascus. Which means, brothers, listen. Don't you ever let anybody telling you the so-called Gentiles don't know about the Most High. They know about him. They know about the Most High. Every single race, species, everything, brothers. This anything animated, unanimated, alive or non-alive, they know about the Most High. They are well aware of the Most High. You think this cup don't know about the Most High in the spiritual realm? This cup has spirits in it. Those inanimated objects, they all made from the element of the Most High. They all know, brothers. He said, yes. That's why when I went into Damascus, I saw some books. The Chaldean books say That's what Melchizedek taught them. Brothers, when this last shoe drop, people will not say, we didn't know. The Most High sent you Seth. He sent you, well, sent you Adam, not Adam. He sent Seth. He sent Enoch, Methuselah, Noah, Shem, Abraham, David, Yahawashi, the prophet, the apostle. You still don't want to come back to him. You still don't want to come back to him. Whatever is going to happen to you, it will happen. I have never seen what let me check, brothers. I don't want to take so long. Let me check where we at. Oh boy. Oh good Lord. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, let me move a little bit faster. Let me move a little bit faster. Okay. This is remarkable. I said it Melchizedek. I have never seen them yet. This is what Moses said. Where Moses say, I have never seen them, yet this voice forces itself upon me everywhere, my Sesostris. He said, I can't see him. I could never see that guy that talking in my head, brothers. If it was now, they would have called Moses crazy. Oh, you have some mental issue. You have bipolar disorder. But I can hear this voice. He keep telling me things. You are a psycho. You suffer from there's a proper medical name for this. That's why some people, they don't go to the psychiatrist. They don't know what the hell they are talking about. Okay. Oh, you're a narcissist. Nope, this voice, I hear it. That's what Moses said here. He said, I have never seen them, yet this voice forces itself upon me everywhere, my Sesostris. All his dark and inscrutable, define this word, inscrutable. You're schizophrenic. You're schizophrenic. You don't know what you're saying, but I can hear it. How about you getting some of that drugs right there? Hmm? You're schizophrenic. You're schizo. All is dark and inscrutable to us mortals. We hang our faith upon the tradition. This is big. We hang our faith upon the tradition and our hopes upon a myth. We feel ourselves equal or superior to the deity we worship and find no repose in the observances our religion demands. Would I not that the power of the penetrate the blue heavens above us and find out God and know that life means and whence we came and whither we go? Once across the lake of the dead, I answer. This is Sesostris, and all will be revealed. Osiris and his vast judgment, all will give each soul the key of the past or in the future. So that's why they are discussing things right here. So said the priest, and we believe, and so we believe. But to return to the Hebrews, now they get back to the Hebrews. Now, to return to the Hebrews, another time we will discuss once this theme. So he said, okay, let's return to the Hebrews, but another time we'll sit down, we'll talk about God and all that. So now Moses find a friend. Moses truly finds somebody in this walk. Moses was walking alone and he saw somebody in the street and in the road, and he asked him, how long you've been walking? He said, all my life. Hey, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to this place. Say, exactly, that's the same place I'm going. And then they start talking. That's why we told our people, always walk alone. Once you get into the road, you will make a community of people that was walking alone, and then you will form a community with them. Never wait on somebody to walk with you. You will be there still waiting. You will be there. You will hear a loud boom. When you come out there, you will see a loud cloud, and there's a giant spaceship, and the Son of Man is looking down upon your soul. The new king, hearing that 200,000 or more foreigners dwell here. So the new king came in Goshen, and he heard somewhere around 200,000 foreigners dwell here. Called the elders and chief men before him. And when he had questioned them and heard their history and had learned that the prince Joseph, who had done so much to upload and consolidate the Phoenician, who was one of their ancestors, his wrath was presently kindled against them. He saw in them the friends and adherents of the overthrown dynasty, both as allied by blood to the great Hebrew prime minister and as origin from the same country with the expelled Phoenician king. So the 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 king of Thebes came into Goshen, and he saw it. He like, who are those people? He said, well, those are the Hebrews. They just live here peacefully. They are no threat to us. He said, no threat. Who are we? He said, they're over 240,000. And Joseph, their prime minister, was he's their ancestor. There is their brother. Say, who is this Joseph? Well, Joseph was you overthrew the king, but Joseph was the guy behind the scene. He was the guy who was making all the move. He was the guy who was making everything. And he like, what? So he's that guy who kept them in power so much. He said, yeah, he said, well, then they are a threat to us. At any moment, they can attack us because they were related to that Hebrew king Joseph that died. I don't give a about this dude. And then he said they are a threat. He therefore perceived they were not a warlike people. And then when he tried to attack our people, they didn't have any guns, any weapons, anything. They were peaceful people. He perceived that. Again, Sun Tzu told you, never look for a fight where there is no fight. If you got guns, you're going to conquer somebody, you get there, none of them has any guns, you don't pull gun on them and start shooting them. You just ask them to leave, they will leave. And if they don't want, you shoot them. But you don't just, your first instinct is start shooting everyone. Like the Spanish, when they came here, they didn't tell us to leave the land. If they did, we would have just leave it. We'll say, well, take it, and then we left. They just came in and started shooting people. The first thing Christopher Columbus, the first word that came out of that jackass when he stepped out of the boat, and he wasn't gentle. He said, where's the temple? Where's the mouth of Christ? Where are the golds? And he started beating our people to tell them where it was. Sun Tzu said, no, don't do this. So this king came in, he perceived that they weren't a warlike people. They weren't they weren't into wars and things like that, and could not be dreaded as an army. They could not form an army. Instead of declaring war against them and drive them out of Egypt, as he had done the Syrian kings, resolved to reduce from the servitude, like captive taken in wars. So instead of that, brothers, instead of declaring war upon them and kill all of them, he made them captive. He enslaved them. He enslaved them, brothers. They are level of slavery. They have war captive and they got regular slave. Regular slave is people that owe people money. They are freaking gamblers, or they steal something and they have to pay, or they commit a crime. They say, okay, you have to be a slave for a certain amount of years, and they got war criminals or war prisoner, and they make slave. Having come to this resolution, he held as prisoner the chief men before him and placed the whole people under the yoke of bondage, and rolling them under tax officers and putting them to work upon the cities, temples, palaces, and canals, which the Phoenicians has either destroyed or suffered to fall into ruin. So he started making our people work, building the city, building stuff, and building everything. This was the beginning, my Sesostris, of the subjugation to perpetual labor of the Syrians or Hebrews in the very land where one of the family had ruled next to the throne. They have been engaged since in building cities. Okay, our people were building the cities and walls and cultivating and irrigating the wild wheat field, aiding and hewing stone in the quarries and all other works of servitude. But as the making of bricks requires no intelligence, and as it was not the policy of Amunophis Pharaoh to elevate their intellects, but the contrary, lest they should prove troublesome, they have chiefly kept them in this most degrading of all labor. So Amunophis come with a law. This law said you could never give the Hebrew a better job, never put them in government places, palaces, and temple. Unless the prettier one, you put them there to serve you in the temple, make them just nice. Most of them give them low-level jobs, make them servitude, deny them, never let them have anything. If they ask for this job, tell them we're not hiring, hire somebody else. If they come into your company, give them the lowest job. Let them be a janitor. Never pay them well. Always keep them low. The moment you let those people get in the same place like you are, they will excel you. I know everybody that working here, they never got promoted. They can't get promoted. And somebody that just step in that don't look like them, they get promoted. It's the same thing. Don't hire those people. They're not good worker. Wink wink. Make them garbage men. Give them the lowest of the lowest. Janitors, hotel workers. Don't pay them anything. The one that truly made it really work really hard, the most I blessed them, they kind of like make it. But normally, they normally don't give them anything. Put them in slavery. Raise their rent. The little money that they have, put in TV. Make people that look like them, make them look rich so they can spend money. Don't send them to school. Don't give them intellect. He said here, don't give them any intellect. They will be troublesome. How long is this that they have been in this condition, I ask? About 105 and 60 years have elapsed since the death of Prince Joseph. But they were gradually reduced to their present state. During the latter years, only of Amunophis were their tasks increased. Okay, so when Amunophis came in, he increased the task. Oh, that guy did a lot, brothers. Amunophis did a lot. So Amunophis spent 70 years. That was the worst. Our people suffered. Okay, during the latter, only Amunophis where the task increased. They nevertheless multiply in such number that the king began to apprehend danger in his crown from the multitude. Were there men among them who sought to free their fellows? I inquired. So he said, Amunophis were beating them. He was the worst. Then the Hebrews multiplied them more. And then Sesostris says, so you mean to tell me they were beating one of those people? None of them ever tried to be freed? And then he asked Ramesses, always, and to this hour, they are a proud, hardy, and resolute and stubborn race. He said, always, those people always try to free themselves. And it is true. Till this day, brothers. Till this day. We got movement, brothers. We got our people walk in the 60s. We have our people who did the Haitian Revolution. We have Ned Turner. We have all of those people always fight. But the moment the Messiah put a curse upon you, brother, you can fight. You can yell. You can cry. It won't go away. It will not go away until everything is past, until his will is done. You say always, those people always fighting. They're all very proud people. We fight, we march. We fight for stuff. Now, right now, we don't, you barely really fight. Everything now is for everybody. Oh, we got to fight for the Asian because they're being beaten down like we are. We got to fight for the gays because, oh, I don't know, a bunch of gays were putting in a concentration camp and then they were feeding stuff. Gay people can do this and stuff. Now you got a bunch of jackasses and dumbasses walking around fighting for everybody. Those are the same two-thirds that was like, oh, the Egyptians are suffering too. You just don't see it. Those are the same people. Yeah, those are the same people that like, just because we're all working on this heavy burden doesn't mean the Pharaoh is not sad. And then those are the jackasses, the dumbasses, the people will take and put a microphone on their face and give them money, give them YouTube channels, and give them all kind of money and prop them, make them talk for us. And our people will follow. Say, this is true. Everybody's suffering. This curse is upon all of us. Man, we all in trouble, man. 2020 is bad for all of us. The most are gonna come back. Jacob's trouble. It's all of us. The camp never ever did talk about Jacob's trouble. When they came coming with Jacob got next. It was Swagger Jack. They came was unified. Then this camp come out of nowhere with the RFID chip, Jacob's trouble, and stuff like that. All this garbage and then fear and then put fear of the Gentiles in our people's heart. They never told our people, you already went, you pay your stuff, you pay everything, you don't have to worry, this is their sleep, whatever's coming into their people. That was the original work the Messiah gave them. But they went astray for money. They got paid. A lot of them got paid, brothers. Don't say this guy is Esau. Those people over there that are not the Moabites. Don't say this. Make little videos. Say the Moabites is those people. Say the Jebusites are those people. So Esau, we don't know who Esau is. We don't know who the Moabites is. We don't know who the Ammonites is. It makes sense that us of us here are not Israelites. Brothers, it did say we will not have the memory of ourselves. It never did say those people won't know who we are. They still know, especially the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites will come up in your face and tell you, yes, you're the son of God. I'm an Ishmaelite and you're Israelites. Always tell me this. The so-called Arabs, they always walk up to me and tell me, son of God, son of man. Just like that sister, always sister say, when that guy came in, he said, I would not pick you up, but you're the child of God. You are the child of the Most High, I will pick you up. And everybody, oh, I'm not Esau, man. Okay, who are you, man? I don't know, but I'm not him. Hey, I'm not Moab, man. Moab is those African over there. African? Who are you people? Oh, hey, those African. Everybody has African. Nobody can stop because the camp took a lot of money, man. And one of the dude, he was calling those guys out. He said when he started in the camp, they give them brothers. It's not like when they started, brothers, when the camp started, it's not like they were going to the Bible and see, oh, this is the rate. No, they got a list that was passing on to kings and kings that have all the names, all the land, all the people in them. How did they look like? How they talk in their cultures? They got everything correct, everything right. They went out there and get paid and swagger jack thing. The whole tablet, the table of the 12 tribes talking about the land, the people, the customs. You have to be, the most have to send the spirit to see who are those people. Those people that are living now in those lands are not the true people. They are not. They are not the true people. It's not like the camps has like they decipher to the book. They had maps. They have names. They have the original places where those people used to live and stuff like that. And then they tell you, yeah, this is what it is. But they hide that. They got co-op. The Mosai told us this. They got co-op. A lot of things going on, brothers. Anyway, brothers, let us read. Always and to his hour, they are proud-hearted people, okay? All right? They bent to the yoke indeed, but with hatred of the oppressor, but not with the willing of submission of the Libyan and the Nubian captive. He said, our people, brothers, they did the work, but they didn't do it as a submissive people and like the Nubian and the Libyan. Our people always were fighting. But because they saw people keep fighting, they break them down. That's why they took the most beautiful Hebrews, they give them job inside of the palaces, and they told them, never say anything against me, or better yet, never say anything about your people. If they bring what those people tell them you don't know, they always give them, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. All right, okay. 10 p.m. All right, let's drink a little water. Oh boy. All right, 10 p.m. All praises to the Most High, brothers. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring some books that we have here, 10 p.m. Those are my personal books, okay? Just like I told you, those guys, they have maps, they have things, they know who those people are. Those are the maps that show certain things, but they are in French. They are French. It's a book in French. It's called Géologie structurale de la région des Caraïbes, Mexique, Amérique centrale, Antilles et Côte Caraïbes, Jack Berthelin. This book is a geology, structural geology of the region, of the Caribbean region, Mexico, America, Central America, the Antilles, and Cordillera Caribs by Jack Berthelin. Just Jack's button. If you are interested, it gives you maps, it gives you things, certain things that certain volcano are located, what's inside of what's under the earth. This book was published back in the 1970s, 1960s, 1980s. This one was in 1977. Mason, those are the books that you need to get, old books. You know, this is like, and they are showing you what kind of treasure and stuff that are under there. Okay, this is one of the book. French, you don't have to get that because and stuff like that. This is another one, a very old book. Okay, it's called by Jacques Baudelaire. Jacques Baudelaire, La Constitution géologique et la structure des Antilles. Um, the geological constitution of the structure of the Antilles. Okay, so I was reading this page. I already got interested in this. Okay, those all have stuff in there, and they got maps. They have data that they put in there. All this stuff. Okay, they got all sort of things in there. Okay, those are all data, things they knew back in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s. They record them over there. Okay, seismic stuff. Let me see. A kilometer this well see Globotalia Fossi. This is Latin. Pliogen, Recent, Pliocene, Cayman Island, Republic of Haiti, Republic of the DR Republic, Puerto Rico. Those are all lands, and they are saying the amount of stuff that they had in there. Okay, so it's something personal. Certain books I was reading, and they had they refer those books. They were cheap on Amazon, $7-10. So I bought it for the people. And then if I found something in there, I already know the other book tell me everything that I need to know, but he gave me this as backup. Okay, those are the two books that came in by Jacques Baudelaire. Let me type the name here. Okay, it's all French though. Jacques Baudelaire or Jacques Baudelaire. So yeah, we got let's see, we got one email we're going to read, and then we're going to take a little 5 minutes break and stuff. We have an email from the beloved brother Michael Whale. So he's a subscriber to this main channel. So he missed me. He missed the channel when they shut down. They did shut us down for a week, brothers. They did suspend the channel for a week. So he sent an email asking where I was. So I gave him a excuse me. I gave him a link to the backup channel. So and then they blocking the link, they're blocking the video, they suspended the channel. And he wrote back, he said, "This is the result of the link you provide, Levi. By the way, I am Caucasian Gentiles. Therefore, I look forward scrubbing the bathrooms of YAHAWAH firstborn Israel. Peace, brother. We love you. All praises to the Most High." Okay, so this quote unquote, this brother, he bent the heart of the knee, he cleave unto the nation and clinging to our God. Okay, all praises to the Most High YAHAWAH. So he should be all right. All right, brothers and sisters. So we got all the people watching, Jews and Gentiles alike. They give praises to the Most High, and that's all we want. Okay, we want people to go bend the knee, give the Most High all praises. Tell the Most High you come in the midst, you respect His people, and you're willing to do anything, to pay for whatever you do, because really, you guys don't know who you are. Really, people, a lot of the people don't know who they are. But if you look like certain people, it would be best if you claim them and you cleave unto us and you cling unto our God. Be honest. Don't be coming to the line of the Father with your lips talking proudly. Don't do this. All praises to the Most High, brothers. I don't know. Should we need a break or should we keep on trucking, brothers? Because I'm good. Should we keep on moving, brothers? Should we keep moving? Should we keep moving, brothers? Should we keep on trucking? All praises to the Most High. Keep going. One person, two. All right. The people have spoken. Yeah, I have water. I have plenty water, sister. Thank you. All right. The people have spoken, brothers. Let us keep on moving. Let us keep on moving. Let us keep on moving. Let us keep on trucking. Now, brothers, listen. This is going to be a little bit disturbing because it's going to get very real right there. It's going to get very real. Okay. The king had reason to fear from the increase of their numbers when he found the census of these people gave more than 1 million of souls, while the number of his own subjects in both provinces did not exceed 6 million, his own Thebans not amounting so as many of the Hebrews' number. Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, this is where they get the theory about 13% of the population. Because even back then, when they were beating and killing our people, they were multiplying. When he find the census, he like, God damn, he jumped. What? There are more of them than us. Even if we took everybody that have all over, there are more. Well, don't tell them that. Tell them they're always 13%. Tell them they don't. You guys don't go up. You guys don't. You just 13% everywhere. Don't tell them anything. This is what they fear of the population. Upon this, he become alarmed. Okay, I gotta do something. For he was about entering into a war with the kings of Syro Arabia. He was alarmed because he was gonna fight a war with another country. Those people that he was fight the war, they were Shemitic people. They were Syro Arabian. And he was afraid that if those people find a way, they could just bring us as an ally and overthrow him. Something has to be about that. Something gotta be done about this. Syrians thought they might drain themselves to his enemies. He therefore increased their burden and taskmasters in order to keep them in closer subjugation. But the more he oppressed them, the more they multiply. The more they oppress our people, the more we multiply. In relating these facts, oh Prince, do not think I approve of cruelty even in my royal ancestor. So Ramesses told him, Sesostris, even my great-grandfather did this. Don't you think that I approve what he did? I do not like cruelty. Because Moses thought he was one of them. He haven't found out the truth yet. He said, I do not approve cruelty. It was no doubt a great wrong in the beginning inflicted upon them. So he admitted. He said it was a great wrong done upon them and making them servants. And the subsequent series of oppression were but the natural result of the first act. It was one unmixed evil throughout, evil after evil. Having committed the manifest error in the outset of enslaving them to the crown, it now became a necessary policy to prevent the dangerous increase. He said the king see everything that he did, those people keep multiplying. He took one last counsel. Guess who gave him that counsel? Another Shemite, another Hebrew, a Midianite Hebrew. That was the Midianite Hebrew that was beating the crap out of that donkey, and then the donkey talked to him. That scumbag, which I got a strong, feeling that I was this guy in my past life. He would not send them with his army into Arabia, so lest they should drain in his enemy. He therefore, to keep down their numbers, ordered all the male infant, as soon as they're born, they be put to death by the Egyptian women. A dreadful alternative, I exclaimed. So Moses said, he could not do anything to these people. He come up with a plan. He said the firstborn, because if you kill the male of any race, you literally destroy the race. That's why they find out that if they eliminate the black man, that's it. If you can make the black man gay, if you can take two black men and tell them it's better for you guys to one of you bend the other one over and break his back. So both of you can become cowboys and go to that mountain and work back in there. It would be best. You eliminate the next generation, it won't be born. So he told the nurses, all the infants, all the boys that were born, kill them. And Sesostris like, whoa, he did this? Brothers, did you know they hide that history? They hide that history, brothers. The Phoenician didn't know anything about this. This is a close guarded history. Did you know there are people in the other world that are living, they never thought, they never known we went to slavery. They thought we were born like this, brother. We were born lazy. They thought we were born poor. They have no idea we went to slavery, brothers. They hide it. And when he told Sesostris, he said, kill the first one. Sesostris said, a dreadful alternative. It's like, whoa, this is bad. Yes, and one not to be defended. And Ramesses did not like this. He said, no, it's not one we should not defend this, okay? And so Ramesses into a decided tone. But Amunophis, having caught the lion by the jaws, was compelled either to destroy him or to be destroyed himself. The result of the edict was perished. The Nile, it is said, was constantly bearing down its bosom corpse of the newborn babes. Dreadful, I ejaculated. Yeah, right? So, Sesostris said, Moses said, the Nile is loaded with baby bones of the Hebrews. The Nile, they just threw them in the Nile River. The Nile is like full with babies of Hebrews. And Sesostris said, dreadful, I ejaculated. Before we move a little bit further, we don't want to traumatize people here. We don't want certain of our people will think something else was going on. Why Sesostris ejaculated? No, sir. Can somebody describe the word ejaculated, the second term? I'm pretty sure all of us, we know the first term, but the second term, the meaning of the second term of ejaculated, when they say somebody dreadful ejaculated. So that's what it means, brothers. Okay, we don't want people to get any idea here. None of this thing was going on, brothers. That's right. There you go. There goes our people. When somebody back then, brothers, remember this book was written like thousands of years old. Moses did tell the fool, did tell the brother this, and then he blasted off, man. It means something else, brothers. Listen, we really ejaculated, to utter suddenly and passionately exclaim, "Whoa, dreadful, sir! I ejaculated. Oh, whoa, the Nile." That's what it meant. All right? There you go. Like throwing a javelin. Thank you. That's right. Good. That is good. Everybody clear? We don't want our people to take something else was going on that made the brother. There we go. Thank you, brothers. Sesostris. Whoa! Oh! Wow! That is dreadful, sir. I am appalled. Twisted his mustache. I am appalled. I am flabbergasted. That's what happened. All right, brothers, that's what it means. This is page 96, the last paragraph. A dreadful, I ejaculated. It became so to the king, but he felt that one of the other must perish, and of these innocent infants must die for the future safety of the kingdom. So the king, he find out, he said, this is me or them, and I choose me. Throw all the kids in the Nile and kill them. And the book of Joshua, we're just going to go into that very fast, brothers. Listen, I'm trying to light the mood, brothers, because this is very shocking, but we're lighting the mood. Brothers, the Most High is so great. When they are killing our babies like this is no different than Planned Parenthood, brothers. This is no different. This is no different. When they see our people multiplying, Margaret Sanger came and said, we got to do something. Now they are pushing abortion in our people, and then the more we multiply, They put drugs in there, locked our people, the more we multiply. They shoot us in the street, the more we multiply. They put all kind of crap in our water, the more we multiply. Not here, only in America, all over the world. They got census, brothers. Like I told you, those people got map. They know who we are. They know where all our people are. And they're all armed. They're all armed. So he said, kill all the people. And we know in the book of Joshua, the Most High have the children, the mothers buried the children in the earth, and then the Most High make their hair grow so long, their hair, an angel came in, a nurse angel came in, and then give them two smooth stones. One of them has milk, one of them has honey. And the little babies, when they got the two smooth stones, and then the angel buried them in the earth, and then they stay under the earth for years. They grow up until they came out of the earth. The earthly mother protect us. The Holy Spirit was that one who did this, brothers, in the book of Joshua. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember when the earthly mother took care of us? When they buried all the babies and their hair grows so long and wrap them around and keep them warm, and the angel put two smooth stones, one with milk, one with honey, so the baby will drink, suck on the stone that had milk, and suck on the stone with honey, and then they were hibernated for years. And then the baby will come out, grow up. And then when the Egyptian heard about that, the king sent people to dig their javelin in the earth. They were trying to kill the baby. Scumbag, you jackass. When they say inside of the earth, they mean another dimension. They were digging the earth so they can kill the baby. They could not. I don't remember in that chapter. We need to go in the book of Joshua, brothers. Let us pray the Most High, after we finish this book, the Most High tell us, go in the book of Joshua. It will be epic, man, if we go in the book of Joshua and we read the whole book. But we don't know what the Most High is going to have for us. I do this a lot, brothers. I thought because I read the book of Joshua and then everybody here read it. So, we might have to go to the book of Joshua. We'll see if the Most High will, if the Holy Spirit will tell us to go. Okay, we will do that if we have time. We'll go into the entire book of Joshua, tell all the story, because we have to, because you will understand and you will make the connection in the Bible and this book and the throne of David, and everything will make sense to you. Everything makes sense to me, but some of you here, you never heard of that, and it kind of makes sense, but you're like, what does the story of that, brothers? If you read, like I said, the book of Joshua is my favorite book of all time. Samuel is my favorite prophet. The book of Isaiah is my favorite book out of the Bible, and then one of my favorite, I don't have a favorite. Balaam is like my favorite scumbag. He's like the worst guy. Balaam was the one who came up with this plan, brothers. He's the one who tell the king, throw them in the Nile and stuff like that. Balaam, he was one of our cousins. He was a Midianite. He was a Hebrew. He was the one who blessed us. And at the end, the Most High called Balaam and made Balaam blessed us. Okay? Balaam was a scumbag, but he was the Most High's weapon. He was the Most High's, brute. The Most High use it. Okay? All right? So, the book of Joshua, man. Woo! Beautiful. Brothers, if we have time, when we finish this book, if we can, we'll go in the book of Joshua. Most likely, we probably have to, because we already went on to those two books. Somebody hold me on to that. But anyway, let me see. Okay, all right. It becomes, so the king say either me or them, and then start throw them in the river. Okay. Features there were sad. Listen, this is Moses telling the story. Say, there were sad and tragic scene. Many Hebrew mothers fought to save their infant. Our women would not give their children so easily. They were fighting to save their infant, or they perish with the clasp of their heart. They would kill the mother and the children on spot. Many a desperate father resist the soldiers who sought his heart for his concealed child and die on the threshold. The father were dying defending their children. And the ineffectual effort to save his son. They were all dying. They were killing our people, the one that did not want to give them. And the mothers that they took their kid, they killed them. Those mothers went like, they went lunatics. They went bad hash crazy. They weren't the same people at all. You perceive, Sesostris, that I speak with emotion. So Moses was about to cry when he's talking. Okay, he's talking with emotion. I have heard the scene of that era. So this is Moses talking. He said, I have heard, well, Ramesses, I have heard the scenes of that era described by those who witnessed them. He said, I heard, because this story, brothers, is something they hide in Egypt. You don't talk about that. Yeah, we know that it happened, but don't say anything. 400 years slavery. We know slavery happened, but don't talk about it. What about Kim Kardashian? What about LeBron James? What about the sport? Those people, they do something. Let's talk about that. This is the Holy Spirit talking here. I have heard the scenes of that era described by those who witnessed them. I was an infant at the time and do not speak on my own knowledge, but many live within saw tragedies of all, such as few lanes have witnessed. I had been Amunophis one. I think I should have devised some other way to ward off the anticipated danger for my kingdom. This is Moses talking. He said, I was a little boy. I was a little baby. I could not talk. But if I was Amunophis, I would have devised another plan. I would have not committed this tragedy. It shows you, brothers. That's why, brothers, even though a Gentiles come to you and bow down and say things, nice things with their heart, there is no way on earth this person is a Gentile. He is. Just like Moses. Moses thought he was one of them. Moses thought he was one of them. He said, if I was Amunophis, I wouldn't do this. I would have found a way to do this. Truthfully, he meant that, brother. He was about to cry when he was saying this. That's why we told you a lot of those people, they think they are, truthfully, brothers, there's two classes, the heathens and the chosens. When the Most in the book, when they say Gentiles, that means one of us that went astray. They went too far, and they come back to us. They say, I want to learn about the Father. And like, what the hell? You don't look like us. You look like those people. Yeah, but my father, I think I have who's your father? I don't know, but I feel some type of connection with us. That's why certain people, brothers, they are acting like us. They have certain sympathy for us. In the bottom of their heart, some of them, they call them, there's a word for that. When you swagger jack our style. Some of them do this to mock us. Some of them do this because they truly want to be like us. They call this gender race. There's a something. That's one thing they used to call well, culture, it's not culture vulture, but some type of when a man choose to be a woman and somebody they identify as a computer and some identifies as black. They had a name for this. I don't know those people name, but anyway, so some of them they truly felt some connection around the world, brothers. You see everybody's copying us because a lot of those people are us. A trans race. I believe that's what they call this, a trans race. So Moses, he didn't know what it was, but he knew for a fact he was alive. If he was that king, he would have not done this, okay? He would have found another alternative to save the kingdom. But this sanguinary edict was unsuccessful. Okay, so they were killing our babies. It didn't work, brothers. We multiply even more. The Egyptian nurses were tender of heart than the king. So the Egyptian nurses, they were raised with those women. Some of them went to school together. They were friends. They know those people. The Most High softened their hearts. They would not do this. Every time a Hebrew boy is born, they will take the Hebrew boy and run into and dig a hole and put it and then buried it. And then the Hebrew boy and will go his hair again, two smooth stone and stuff like that. The Egyptian women, they did not want to do this. That was the highest crime. You're killing babies. That's why those people are so outraged right now. Oh, abortion. Oh, I am shocked. You're wearing shock when Margaret Sanger's quarantined the hood, Planned Parenthood wasn't upon us. The reason why the shocked, brothers, they got the data. They find out that more of their people are committing abortion than us. When abortion was upon us in the 70s, 60s, 80s, and 90s, nobody didn't care. Then they start seeing that people are committing it more. Not only that, they start seeing that the races are dropping. They start seeing the birth rate are going down. And then now we gotta do something. Wait a minute. You dig this hole for us. Okay. Let me see, brothers. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. Okay. All right, we got 2 more pages, then we'll be done. The Egyptian nurses were tenderer of heart than the king, and saved many of the tears and entreaties of mothers. Thousands of mothers, stifling every cry of nature, gave birth secretly, and in silence to the babies, and the fathers of friends stood ready to fly with it to some prepared concealment. So you got thousands of mothers give birth in silence. You know what that is? I'm not a woman. I don't know the pain of giving birth in silence. You know what that is when you give birth in silence? When you're pushing this child and you don't want to scream. Because if you scream, somebody will hear you and they will report you. You know what that is? Well, I'm not a woman though, so I don't give birth unless if I eat some Indian food and then I get constipated. Enima! Zaza! Thousands of mothers, stifling every cry of nature, gave birth secretly in silence to their babes, and the fathers of friends stood ready to fly with it to some prepared concealment. Thousands were thus saved as the innumerable multitudes of men you have beheaded this day, toiling in these fields. Okay? Making breaks to build up Rahamis's bear witness. He said that those people that you see here, those are the one that they save. Those are the one that multiply, that they save. The edict continue in force for 2 years when Amunophis died. So Amunophis died, brothers. I'm telling you, the death of this guy, you should have trembled in front of the Most High, brothers. You should have died. You should have trembled. The death of no. We're not gonna go into this. Then that guy died. Okay, Amunophis died. Okay, brothers. All right, brother Peter. Amunophis died. After the 70 days of mourning were ended, his daughter Aminsi, so Amunophis' daughter Aminsi, took power, who had been married to the prince of the Thebaid, a nephew of Amunophis. So Amunophis, listen this, brother. This is what the Mosai checkmate them, man. This is where the Mosai checkmate them. Amunophis, the cruel man, he died. But he had a nephew. Before he died, he married the nephew to his daughter, Aminsi. She was a young woman. Then Aminsi married this man, and this man went to war and he never returned. He was supposed to be the king, but he went to war and never returned. So Aminsi, the daughter, become the so a nephew Amunophis had been left widow. Okay, so who had the table and knew of Amunophis, but had been left a widow about the time of her father's death, came to the throne at the next in succession to double the crown. So Amunophis, Aminsi, the daughter of Amunophis, become the ruler of both kingdom. And it is said that Moses is the son of that nephew. That's what they told Moses. That's what the mother told Moses. Say, you are my son of, my cousin. So yeah. So that's what they told Moses, and Moses believed. With the scepter was bequeathed to her in an iron chain that bound the Hebrews. So when she get to the power, brothers, she inherit what her father did. She inherit what the father did. She inherit the problem. She didn't create it, but you have it. You are the queen, and she inherit the problem. Now, as a queen, brothers, you just got to power, and what you're gonna deal now, you're gonna deal with the cruelty. Remember, the daughter Aminsi know and understand what the father did, because and the Nile brothers, you know the backstory. Okay, the Mosai sent Moses in that little ark, and then Miriam, his sister, went and run to the queen because they were friends. Okay, Miriam told her, and then he took it, and then he paid Moses' mother to give Moses milk and all that stuff. And then she know what her father did. With the scepter was bequeathed to her with the iron chain that bound the Hebrews. Young, inexperienced, and ruled without advisor, my mother knew not how to solve the problem this enslaved Syrian presented to her. So she didn't know how to solve the problem. When she inherited the Hebrews already bound under her father, she doesn't know what to do. And now she's gonna do something. As a woman, she felt that she could originate a new policy. But prompted by humanity, the first act of her power was to repeal the edict commending the death of the infants. So she stopped that. All praises to the Most High. This is all the Most High move. This is all the Most High chess move. Aminsi, as a woman, she became the quote-unquote king of Egypt, of the Pharaoh of Egypt, the queen Pharaoh of Egypt. The first thing that she did, she stopped that. She said, no more killing of those kids. Stop it. That was my father. Don't do this. All praises to the Most High. She stopped that. Oh. What is it, Jaden? I thought your mom was in here. No. I'm just kidding. Not. But the first act of her power was repeal the edict commending the death of the infants. This act alone kindled in the heart of the whole of the oppressed people a sentiment of gratitude. So the people, they have a little gratitude for the queen. They say, oh, they say, thank you, queen, for doing this. She stopped that. On the contrary, listen, brothers, on the contrary, her lords, general, chief princes of the nomes and dukes of cities, which of the voice assured her that this act of clemency will destroy her throne. But thou see, my Sesostris, that it still stands. All the dukes, all the kings that was around her say, hey, well, you're a little girl. I wouldn't do that if I were you. You're going to lose. Don't do this. And she didn't listen to them. She said, no, stop killing those little kids. Because, brothers, Moses was a Hebrew. She had a Hebrew boy. How could a mother have how could any woman, brothers? You wake up every day, you're going taking a bath in a river, you see dead bodies of baby floating over there. How could you rejoice over this? How could you stand there and say, wow, this is beautiful? Some people will. Margaret Sanger did that. Which showed you Moses' mother was Shemitic, Moses' mother had compassion as a Gentile woman. She had, oh boy, she had compassion and all that. Anyway, for 34 years, she has reigned over the empire of Egypt, and it was never before reached so high a degree of prosperity. Now Egypt starts prospering. Egypt is at its highest. Power and strength, her armies of the east and of the south and Libya are superior to all nations. So the Most High did bless her. Yet, it is the problem more intricate and farther from solution than ever. I said to the prince, the Hebrew is still in the land, still increasing in numbers, and now far more formidable than in the reign of Grand Desire Amunophis. So she said, well, yeah, but the problem's still here. Those Hebrews are still here. And there are more of them that are here than back then. This is true. And he said, this is true. Moses said, Sesostris said, this is true. My mother and I have talked for hours together upon this theme. She, with her women's gentler nature, would not oppress them. Yet has she been compelled by necessity to hold them in strict subjugation, lest they become a formidable element of insurrection in the kingdom. So as a woman, she did not want to oppress anyone. But because she thought like if she let them mingle, they will retaliate it, which they will, anybody will. That is why, brothers, a lot of those people out there are hashing themselves because they know the retaliation is coming for that 400 years. You will pay. Oh boy. Whew. So far as it consistent with safety to her two crowns, she mitigates the severity of their condition. So she loosened the bond a little. Okay, their condition, as you have understood, has forbidden the women to be struck with blows. So she forbid the women to be beaten or put to heavy toil. Don't have the women do heavy work. Don't have them lifting heavy toll. And still, it is not easy among so many thousand taskmasters and so many millions of bound men to oversee all individual acts of oppression. But when brought to our notice, they are severely punished. So what he said here said, even though they make this law, it's not something they follow. They still beat the women. They still make the women work hard. But when somebody brought that to their attention, this person is punished. They will cut their hands off those taskmaster. The queen will have them cut their hands like right in front of them, both of their hands. He will have the head cut off. Because if they rape one of the women have them killed, like horrible death. She didn't play that because she grew up with Miriam. She grew up with Hebrew women as servants. You see, kids don't understand things like adults understand as an adult. If you take two little kids, they're raised together, their life's gonna be very similar. There's an unspeakable bond you cannot break. Once even when they are growing up, they still have that bond with a certain people. That is why, brothers, there are certain people, they grow up in the hood with us. They still have that connection they have with people. They still have certain compassion upon us. Okay? So because she grew up with a bunch of Hebrew little girls. Her mother was a Phoenician woman. So she didn't want to, do this. So, yeah. The condition of the Hebrew is an incubus. Define that word, brothers. Incubus. Incubus. What the hell am I? Incubus, incubus, upon the soul of my normal border. Okay, it's trouble her every day, brothers. It's trouble her every single day. And you will understand in the next chapter what this condition do to that mother, man. That's why she was 50. She was in her 50s. She had already got gray hair. She looked old for 50 years old. Okay, the stress, man. Wow. Excuse me. My normal border. And if it were incubus, male version of succubus. I think succubus is a female version. I don't know. I believe there's a villain in Suicide Squad named Incubus or succubus or something like that. I forgot. Okay, if it were in her power, with safety to her subjects, to release them to more from their bondage, she would have do so. But state policy demands imperatively rigid supervision, severe discipline, and constant labor, lest being idle at liberty to go where they choose, they conspire against us. So she said if it was of her power, she would have just let them go. But the state, the rules, the policy, the laws say those people have to be every single day beaten down, subjugated, so they won't rise against us. Keep them dumb. Spend billions, show people that look like them, dress expensively, talk dumb. What's up with you? Be dumb. Teach them all the dumbest thing you can possibly imagine. Pump drugs in the neighborhood. Keep them down, always beating on them, always show anything that happened. There's a volcano over there in St. Vincent. Show it all over the news. Look at you black people always, under the curve. But when it happened in Indonesia, when it happened in Iceland, keep it down. Don't show it. Don't show it. But when something happened to them, always show it. Oh, look at what happened. These people are poor and stuff. Look at them over there. Oh man, this stuff. Keep them down. That's the policy, and the mother could not do anything to that. Okay, several times agents, listen, several times agents from the king of Ethiopia, our natural and hereditary foe, with whom we are almost always at war, have been discovered among them, and arms been placed in their possession by the spies of Queen of Arabia. This is another conspiracy. This is another conspiracy. They're bringing the queen. They say, Queen, yeah, the reason we have to do that, we just find a bunch of Ethiopian spy trying to give them arms so they can fight against you. We found 50 to 100 kilos of cocaine those people have over there so they can sell it to your white children, to your good children. We know they don't own any boat. They don't own any airplane. We don't know how they get that drug over there. Don't be asking us, but they have it. So that's why we have to get more police. We have to get more prison. We have to get more prosecutors. We have to get more education. That's why we have to always be there. We have to be tough. We have to get tougher law. We have to be tough on crime. They are 13% of the population, yet they commit all the crime. That's why we have to be tough on them. Conspiracies. And the queen just listened. She said, oh, well, okay. Miseducation. They have, moreover, among them men of courage and talent who, like their ancestor Prince Abraham, possess warlike fire, and like the Prime Minister Joseph has wisdom and counsel to advise and woo. Such persons among slaves are to be feared, and there is necessary a certain severity, you would call it oppression, to keep all down in such spirit. They have the spirit of Ned Turner. Their blood, the spirit still flowing to them. They can do exactly what the Most High can do. If those people in any shape or form can find a way to harness the true power like they did in 1804, if they find a way they can harness the power of their fathers, they will destroy us. Always keep them down, put things in their food. Tell the men, tell the women, the only way you can be free is being sexually free. Go out there. Open that oven. Let anybody bake anything in there. That's your freedom. Don't never tell a man, tell you what you do, sister. Go out there. Sleep left. Sleep right. You don't need a man. Get a job. Work by yourself. Be independent. You can do it. You want a job? Come here. Here's the money. Here's the job. Don't listen to any man. The black man is oppressing you. He put you in slavery, always beating on you. Black man, you don't need the black women. Always play basketball. That's the only way you can make it out of here. And when you get that rich money, go marry a white woman. If you cannot find a white woman, get yourself another black man or another white man. It's good over there. Always put them down, push them down, push them down, keeping them down. Always 24/7. That's the only way we can keep out. Because if they ever find out they can connect it to the Most High, we're done. The burdens of these Hebrews still seem very heavy, O Ramesses, I said. They doubtless are, but their condition is far lighter than it has been. They are allotted certain tasks. Let me see. Okay.
Rice and beef and onion.
Okay. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Well, could have given this at 10 p.m. when I had my break, but anyway, I will go into town a little bit later. And say, what the hell am I? Okay. Wait. Okay. He said the burdens of these Hebrews still seems very heavy. You know, Ramesses. Ramesses say, yeah, they are, but they are doubtless far in a better condition than they have been. Brothers, that's like somebody come from another place. They came here, they see the condition of our people. Like, God damn. Those people are in a very bad condition. And that person say, yeah, they are, but their condition has improved. They have civil rights now. They used to be in heavy slavery, and now they are entertainers. One of them is the second and president in this country. We even have one president, so they are doing better. Yeah. Any flaked, they must complete. Let me see. We got all right, we got 2 more pages, then we're done. All right, 2 more page. They must complete their tale of breaks unless disabled by sickness. Blows are not given to men unless they are willful and insubordinate. So, brothers, the mother put a very a fair law. When you look at all the civil rights, they are fair, but they are not being enforced. Once a year, the queen visits all the Hebrews in the country of avarice, of which Goshen forms but a part, and regulates abuses. The Hebrew always has the right of appealing to the governor, to the prince, civil rights bull. The Hebrews always has the right to appealing to the governor of the province against his taxmaster if cruelly treated. You got to be kidding me. Cops are brutally beating you. You have the right. You have the law. That's why I despise some of the scumbag Hebrew out there. I have the right. I can do this. I have the right to bear a gun. You scumbag. They are not talking about you, you jackass. Sit down. I have the right to not wearing a mask. I'm not doing. Get the hell out of here, man. All that the queen can do is execute with severity the laws against oppressing them. So what the queen used to do, brothers, every year she passed and visiting the Hebrew. They're always happy to see her, and they will complain to her. The women will say, "This man beat me," and he will have them killed and cut off. Okay, so and then when the queen left, they treat them even worse, so they won't say anything. I have in vain tried to settle upon some policy to be pursued when I come to the throne. If it is pleased heaven that my mother depart to this life before me, I pray the God to keep her to a good old age in reference to them, but my wisdom is at fault. When I take the scepter, I shall feel that the bondage of the Hebrew, which I anyway with it, will make it lead in my hand. So Ramesses said, if my mother died early, may the gods keep her in old age. I'm gonna inherit the same problem, and I'm gonna do something about it. While he was speaking, the impatient pounding of his spirit chariot horses, restrained with difficulty by 3-foot men, remind him that we were delaying at Arameses when we called to be on our ways back to On. Come, Sesostris, let us get on upon the chariot and return, for I promise to dine with my mother and the Lord Prince Moheris today, and it is already past noon by the shadow of that obelisk. So they were going to a dinner and they got late. So they got on these the dinners and the pass. He passed where I was talking. He passed. He saw the house where he met Ben Isaac. Remember that little old man, Ben Isaac, and the father of that of Israel, the little old man that they were beating to death. And his handsome son Powell. He passed by the well of Jacob, which has a great house. He's doing the 17 years he lived in Goshen. And then I saw before me, he was looking, I saw before me a black mass on the ground, which we advanced proved to be a crown of vulture. Okay. While he was galloping towards the dinner, he saw a black mass, like a bunch. He said something on the ground, a black mass. And then when he approaches, he saw there were a bunch of vulture and eagles, or carrion eagles. They were eating a dead body. One of the brother that was lifting one of those big ass heavy weight, he could not. He fell under it, and then they left him there. He died, so the birds were eating his body. Okay, that slowly and reluctantly move aside of our coming, and next moment our horses sheared on the dead body of a man, on which they had been gathered, feasting upon the flesh. The long beard and dark hair, the coarse blue loincloth, and the pile of bricks, this is told the whole tale. It was emaciated Hebrew who had perished on the roadside under his heavy burden. So that's a brother that stuff. So and Sesostris, Ramesses saw that, he was very, very sad. I did not look at Ramesses. I knew that he saw and felt the rain up and sternly commanded 2 of his footmen to remain and bury the body. So Moses stopped. He said, he commanded 2 of them and he said, "Hey, stop, go over there and bury this man properly. We cannot let his body in the street." And then he kept moving. Sesostris said, he said, as we move forward, "What can be done?" He was asking Sesostris, what can be done? Humanity, piety, and every element of the soul call for the deepest commiseration of these unhappy people. I sometimes, listen, brothers, excuse me. Ramesses say, I sometimes feel that it would be better to send them in a mass out of Egypt into Arabia and follow them with an army to see that they went beyond our boundaries, and then establish a cordon of military posts from Ezion Geber of the Arabian Sea to the shore of the Great Sea North. But how could we provide food for such a host, now amounting to 2.5 million of people? Thousands would perish in the wilderness for want of water and food. Little did Moses know. Little did Moses know. Only a miracle of the gods could preserve them, their women and children, from lingering death. Technically, Moses said, listen, I thought, listen, what can I do, Sesostris? I'm thinking, I could have moved them and pushed them out with the army. And then when they're far off of our boundaries, I would leave and I would build a town in the boundary to prevent them to come back here. But how can I do this? You know how many men and women, children that will die in the desert, in the wilderness for lack of food? A lack of water? They would have died. Little did Moses know. This is the Most High prophesying through Moses. That's what they say. Be careful what you wish for, man. Be careful what you wish for. And would not this be more cruel than edict of Amunophis, only executed in an indirect way in a gigantic scale? I would, were I, if I were today, give the half of my kingdom to a wise man who could devise a practical way of freeing Egypt from the Hebrews without destroying them or suffering them to die in the wilderness. If a man, however, to defy such a benefactor will deserve the honor. So Ramesses sit there and said, but if I do this, wouldn't it be this just like my grandfather? Wouldn't it be even more messed up than him? You see all those people in the freaking desert, all of them would have died. The 2 million would have died. If I am Pharaoh, I would give half of my kingdom to a man that can devise a plan that can take those people out without hurting them, without hurting us. I will give everything I have to save those people. Which showed you, brothers, the Most High was the only way for us to get out. The Most High was the only being, only God that could get us out of this. We could not get ourselves out. Oh, you're going to take 40 million people here and transfer them to Africa? Or so what? The African going to just let you come in over there and dwell in their land? Is that what that is? You're a stranger to those people, although this land is a part of the Holy Land. But you're a stranger, a bunch of 40 million people coming over there and try to stay here. They see what you've been doing on the TV. All they see is you shooting each other. They're already afraid of you. All they see is you being lazy. Only the Most High can take us out of this. Nobody else. Oh, you're going to move to Switzerland, right? To Sweden. 40 millions of you, which they always say 13%. 43, 50 million of you. Is that what that is? Oh, you're going to take all of you guys. You're going to go to one state. Is that what? Only the Most High can do this. These words, my dear mother, were spoken with deep feeling and show me that Moses, yeah, he was speaking with deep feeling. Okay? You see. All right, we're done. One page when we're done. These words, my dear mother, were spoken with deep feelings and show me that the heart of Ramesses is manly and tender, that his sentiments are always elevated and noble, and that the oppression of the Hebrews is not so much the fault of himself or the Queen Mother as it is irresistible sequence of causes which were in action before they were born, and the effects of which they were the most yield. Until the gods in their wisdom and power make known to them the way to remove from the land so great an evil, for none but the deity supreme is wise enough to solve this intricate problem out of Egypt. All praises to the Most High. Sesostris just prophesies right there, man. Sesostris just prophesied. He said only that supreme deity can do this. Only him can remove those people properly. This is an intricate problem. Oh, you think the freedom of so-called black people here and stuff like that? This is a very intricate problem, Negro. A very intricate problem. Only the deity, only the supreme deity. Certain it is that if the Hebrews go and multiplying and growing as they are now, another generation, they will outnumber the Egyptians and will need only a great leader like the warlike ancestor Prince Abram or the hero king of Philistia. They are talking about Samson. Okay, who established the Phoenician dynasty to enable them to subvert the kingdom, and upon his ruins established another Syro-Hebraic dynasty. One of the ancestors has already ruled Egypt, another may yet still in the very seat of the Pharaoh. The Most High, all praises. The Most High is great, brothers. One of the ancestors has already ruled Egypt, and another may yet still in the very seat of the Pharaohs. Little did he know. Little did Sesostris know. As we enter the city of the sun, we pass by the base of an obelisk which Queen Aminsi is erecting to mark the era of it. Of her long reign. Upon it were sculpted representative of her battles with the Ethiopians, her wars with Libya, and her conquest of Arabia. The work was executed by Phoenician and Egyptian and stuff. So the Most High give the queen a lot of victory. She actually pushed all those people out. You may suppose I respond with more than usual gratification to the homage thus paid me for in foreign land, the sight of the humblest of one's own country refreshing the eyes of whom the heart. But I have too long occupied your time, dearest mother, with one letter. Your devoted son, Sesostris, hand of this letter. All right? All praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises. We stop in page 102. All praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises. The Most High is grand. The Most High is the one that do everything. All praises, brothers. Thank you for everybody that still here. We're just going to do a little bit of talking about this. For those of you that just joined us, you will understand. Brothers, for those of you that are taking the $5 challenge today, put $30 in. Today, put your $30 in. If you do, put your $30 in. If you do, next Saturday will be on $35. All right. Put your $30 in. Let me see. Oh, damn it. Oh, shush. All right. I already put my $30 in, brothers. Okay. All right. For those of you, we put it there. Put your $30 and you should have a total of somewhere around, give me a second. Put your $30 in, brothers and sisters, using, okay. All right, Mimsa Israel, she put the $30 in the bag. We have to keep this going, brothers, because we made a pledge to the people, and we say we're going to glorify the name of the Most High by saving for 52 weeks until next Passover. Until next Passover, I don't know what I'm going to do with the money that I save for the Most High. I don't know what we're going to do, brothers. But the Most High will send something upon our soul. He will send something in the midst of us, and we will know what to do, brothers and sisters, with that money that the Most High, is going to somewhat giving us. Okay, you should have somewhere around $105. If you put your $30 in, you will have $105 or more. Okay, we don't know, brother Larry. We can buy an island. Like I said, there's an island. We can actually get this island for free. If we go there, we ask the government. They know it's a fact. If we can present to them the money, if we can make over $2 million, and one of us can go congregate, well, a small league of us can go over there. We can talk to this government. They are my people. I know they love money. He says one thing: those freaking Levites love his money. If we can give them, if we can show them the money, we told them we are going to uh, uh, develop this island and make it like into a paradise and stuff. It will bring jobs to them. They'll say take it. They'll say take the island. Remember, Kanye West and that guy was trying to take one of our islands. And the Mosai sent a message straight to them. You send an earthquake in that guy country, and they back off. They were going to build the city of the future, because they find out the ruins of Atlantis is on that island. That's what they were trying to do. But there's a smaller island. We brothers, I don't know if the Mosai. Brothers, everything is in the hand of the Mosai. I don't know what we're gonna do with that money, brothers, but we're just going to keep it in case something happen. In case. I'm praying the Most. I'm like, Most, we need a little island for the people. If we have enough money, bro, they will give us this island. They'll just say, hey, go ahead over there and do whatever the hell you want to these islands. Okay. Now, brothers, we learn a lot of things, and in this letter, we learn that the people, the wolves, and things that was going on. It's brothers. When you look at this, it's no difference than things that's going on right now. It's no difference. It's no difference. Thank you, beloved Sister Stacy. 110. The more you have, the better it is. We will do something for the Most High with that money, brothers, or we'll do something for ourselves. If we do something ourselves and an honor for the Most High, it's done. Okay, when I'm talking about something for ourselves, I'm not talking about traveling to Mexico and get a breast implant. Yeah, right. Or, for us, men having like less than 1 inches adding onto it. Yeah, right. I'm talking about something that the Most High will like. Say, my kids did that for me. We gotta do something for this old man. We've been giving this guy a lot of stuff, brothers. A lot of crap. Okay, only the Most High, brothers, can get us out of here. It's a very intricate problem, brothers. A very intricate problem. Only the Most High can get us out of here. So everybody clear on the little stuff we started tonight, brothers. Everybody good? Anybody confused, brothers? After this book, we may go into the book of Joshua, because I have a bad habit of not going into book that I already know and thinking that everybody know about it. But once we finish this book, we might go into the book of Joshua if the Most High allows it, which would be the next logical stuff we can do. Going to the book of Joshua. Okay, everybody's good, brothers. Everybody's good. Okay, tomorrow tune in at 8:30 if the Most High allows it. We will study letter 10. We will see what's happening on letter 10. Trust me, there you will meet some scumbags. Some of the people you'll meet there, but you like, if I was there, I would have do stuff to this guy. Yes, for the people, you might want to, brothers, I'm pretty sure most of you got the book of Joshua, brothers. Most of you got the book of Joshua. You should have it there ready, just in case. We should be able to finish this book by the 1st, by May the 1st or somewhere in May. Once we finish it, we're probably going to go in the book of Joshua, so we will connect everything. The book of Joshua is freaking big. It's a lot. It's a lot. The book of Joshua, it's a lot. So I have it here. I have the book of Joshua here. And then let me see. Well, we'll go into the book of Joshua, and then we're probably gonna go into the book of Jubilee, the book of Enoch, and things like that. We're just gonna study each book each month. Excuse me. Each month. If we, I don't want, brothers. One of the reason I do not want, I do not want to. I like to go in the books that have history, so I can tell it. Any book that have like scriptures quoting things, and it will cause confusion. It will cause confusion. People say, okay, well, that's not what that scripture meant. That other guy over there says something. This guy, my Kemp says this, but Kemp's never went into these books. That's why everybody's so agreeing, and people like, yeah, okay, they are agreeing this. We got many more books, brothers. We got many more books. We got these books. We got the book of Joshua. We got another book that give us another account of YAHAWAH. On the third person that was there, he saw John the Baptist. Certain things they were doing, it's not recorded in the Bible. A lot of things that Yahushua was doing, it's not recorded in there. It's in this book. And when the Messiah think we're ready, he will tell us, what that book. And then we got let's see what book that we have. Oh boy, we have so many books. The book of Og the giant. Woo! We got the book of Og, brothers. We cannot let the little ones be there. The little ones cannot hear the book of Og. The book of Lamech of Cain, Nahama, the book of Nahama. Woo! You can't go this. Nahama, the book of Nahama is way too heavy. Those books, we really cannot do this. And you got which book that I have here? Got the Third Testament. Get the Third Testament.com. Boy, well, we have so many books here. I can't even see them. The kids put so many clothes over there, though, and things like that. So we have so much history, brothers, and some of the histories, like that book that I'm reading here, I still the Messiah have it. Thank you. The Nebudcan is a 2 tablet. That book is a no. We cannot bring that book. We have to lock up the little ones. The Nebuchadnezzar 2 tablet is way too. We cannot go there. This book is not good at all. This is not a book you can bring, but we have to go into it because it gives another account of Daniel the prophet, which they call him by another name. Oh yes, it gave Daniel, Nineveh, and all that. Oh man, this book is heavy. Oh, this book got way too many. This book got way too many stuff in it. There's that creature that what's that name of that creature again? Oh boy, the Guantiqua. Woo! Bringing the history of the Guantiqua, how the king was turned into a Guantiqua. The preface of this book, brother, is way too heavy. The preface, the author's note of this book is like, God, this is too heavy. You cannot read this book. You're like, good, woo! So many books out there. They got the Spanish transition. We have books we can study for a lifetime, brothers. This book is mega heavy. When you're reading this book, you're like, good God! They pile up bodies. This book connected to the book of Tobit. Remember, Tobit could not see his people being killed all over the street, being not buried, and animal was eating their body while beasts will be their grave. And then they forbid, if anybody buried those bodies, they will kill them. And Tobit was dressing like Batman. He was dressing like a superhero and going at night and drag those dead bodies and dig hole and put them and then cover them. He was burying the dead bodies at night. And then they find out that he was doing, well, they couldn't find out he was doing this. They kill a bunch of people. In the morning, they came back, all the dead bodies are buried. Tobit was the original masked superhero. And then he become blind. He become blind for 8 years. His son, Tobias, cured him with the gall fish and all that. That's in the book of Tobit. We read that book before, right? Well, we have it. Okay, we'll see, brothers. We see if we can read all those books. The book of Maccabees 1 and 2. What? Oh, the book of Maccabees. We'll go in all of them. If the Messiah allows, we'll go together and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, brother. A lot of books out there. A lot of books. But it is better. I'm not saying it's bad, but it is good when we spend time together like this. We study those books. It gives everybody an insight on what's going on. Okay, but there's so many books out there, brothers. So many books. So many things. We have to go in them, the one that they hides. Okay, so many books, brothers. And like the book of Maccabees, one of the reasons why before we go into those books, you need to know the backstories of it. Okay, because it's so intricate, because people will say, oh well, those are not the Greeks, those are not that. That's why we have to let the Holy Spirit guide us. And then the next book, most likely probably not going to be the book of Joshua, it's going to be another book. But since the people put it in front of the Most High, and then they're like, Daddy, can we study this book? You know, your children, you really, certain book you don't want them to read, certain movie you don't want them to watch. You say, hey, watch PG-13. They are rated R. Some rated R movie you can let the kids watch, but there are some book rated A, only for adult. Yeah, right. Those books they cannot watch, or even the magazine they cannot see it because they're not mature enough. We have those books here. Full disclaimer, man, we don't have those books here. All right, for those scumbag that will send me, oh, big leave, I'm disappointed in you, man. Why you watch? You have books like this in your house? No, scumbag. All I'm saying, certain of those books they are way too heavy. I'm not saying I have triple X's books, and please don't be sending my wife email and all that bull. Tell her, to check under my bed and my computer and all that scums. Yeah, brothers, it's just a lot. So, it's 11 o'clock. I didn't want to eat, but they bought me food, so you know things like that. You know. I, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, it was an honor for having you here with us. It was a very great honor. We learned a lot tomorrow. Please, if the Most High allow it, turn in. Please put your $30. We don't know what we're gonna do with that money yet, but um, we are going to study. And then there are certain other things, brothers, I can't bring to the nation yet, but the Most High tell me to stand down, and I have to stand down. I don't know if I'm going to publish a video today. I don't know yet. So I'm gonna do my best. If I can, I will. Okay, brothers. Thank you, brothers. By the power the Most High vested in me, and He can take it anytime He felt like. I'm leaving all of you in peace, brothers. Seek the Most High face. Study. Don't let anybody telling you, don't go in this book, don't go in that book. Play music with the Most High, with your hands, with your mouth, with any instruments. Software. Don't ever let anybody telling you, oh, you're using software. The Most High don't like that. Oh, devils, demon create devils, and demon don't create nothing. Those people don't know what they are doing, and they can eat hish for all I care. Whoever's out there giving credit to Satan, please go eat the chocolate emoji in your phone. All right? May the King reign forever. Shalom.